And here we are, the final day of the NBA regular season. All 30 teams play today. We have 15 games in the association, and we're going to go over every single one and give predictions and best bets for every single game. Now, for the teams that are eliminated, for the 10 teams that we're not going to talk about for the rest of the season, I will go in depth a little bit about their team and the season and what I'm expecting going forward. If you don't want to hear that, there's a scroll button at the bottom of the screen. You can just move on to the next game. I'll be honest, I'm going to say right now, these games are rough today. They just are. Because when we're really looking at this, I'm going to be honest, there's one game today that has two teams that are trying to win. There's one. It's the Warriors and the Clippers. That's the biggest game of the day. That's why it's in the thumbnail. That's why it's on ESPN. The Bucks and Pistons are on ESPN too, but that doesn't really mean much. So that's the main game today because that game is really what affects everything. The Grizzlies play the Mavericks, which could affect some, who gets the home court in the play-in. The Timberwolves play the Jazz, which can obviously affect things as well. But guys, Minnesota's a 22.5 point favorite. So those are really the two games. Minnesota-Utah does matter, and Clippers-Warriors. We'll get to those and more. But some of these other games, I'll just be honest, are very difficult to make a prediction on. We'll go over it though, and before we do that, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions. No best bets tomorrow because there's no NBA action, but Tuesday we're back for the play-in round. Hawks versus Magic and Kings versus Mavericks. And we're going to find out today who's going to get that home game between Dallas and Sacramento. So I guess Dallas, Memphis matters, and Phoenix, Sacramento does matter some too. But that game does not matter for the Suns. We'll get to that. Right now, the Kings have the tiebreaker over the Mavs, so they kind of control their own destiny. So, yeah, they kind of got that. Well, we'll get to it. Also, earlier today, we posted our MLB Best Bets. Make sure to go check that out. Link in the description down below. And also, go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA. That's linked in the description down below. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers over there. Help us get over there. Okay. To our first game, Hawks Magic. So yeah, we're going to see these two teams in 2 days, right? That's the big game, Banchero versus Trae Young on ESPN on Tuesday night. They play again right now. I'm going to take the Hawks. This game doesn't matter, guys. You're going to see no Trae Young tonight. You're going to see no Paolo Banchero, no Zachary Ursache, no Franz Wagner. Most of these guys are marked as questionable. They're not playing. And if they do, they'll play the first quarter. But the NBA is all about averages, and guys want to make their stats look good. So they're probably just not going to play. Okay? Trae doesn't want to play one quarter just, to play his 82 games. He played 76. But Trae's not going to do that to lower his assist average, 0.4. He's not going to do that. So most of these guys aren't playing today. I will take the Hawks bench unit over Orlando, though. I have said Orlando's one of the deepest teams, but I said that in November. That's not really true anymore. They've lost a lot of their depth, obviously. All their starters are resting today, so no Corey Joseph, no KCP, no Franz Wagner, no Paolo Banchero, no Wendell Carter Jr. They'll be starting Anthony Black, Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, either Caleb Houston or Goga Bitadze, and then obviously Jonathan Isaac. Not a bad lineup, but I think Atlanta does win this game at home. They haven't ruled out all their starters. So actually, Risache is playing. No Dyson Daniels today. So Risache is going. The starters that are out tonight for the Hawks are Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, and Onyeka Okongwu. They are resting some vets as well. No Karis LeVert, no George Niang. But their starting lineup will look something like Terrence Mann, Craigie, Vic Craigie, Zachary Risache, Mohamed Gay, and probably Dominic Barlow. I do slightly like that. Garrison Matthews coming off the bench, Keaton Wallace. I'm just a big Hawks guy. I'm excited for that game coming up in the play-in in Orlando on Tuesday, but I am going to take Atlanta at home. This is a toss-up game. It is, the odds are decent. I think the Hawks do get it at home. I think they're going to want it a little bit more. This game, it doesn't mean anything to either of these teams, but I'm going to take Atlanta at home minus 125. Literally, the game being in Atlanta is all that matters, I think. Next up, Hornets Celtics. So here's our first eliminated team of the day. Get-in price is still $100 for this game, which is absolutely insane. I'm taking the Hornets in the spread here, plus 12.5. I understand a lot of their guys are still out, but at this point, it's just do something, please. I don't know. This is my last ditch, all right, Charlotte, show us something. The top 6 guys are not playing tonight for Boston, so it means no Derek White, no Drew Holiday, no Jaylen Brown, no Tatum, no Porzingis, and no Al Horford. They're going to be starting Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, Baylor Shireman, and I don't know. I don't know who's going to be the fifth starter, I'll be honest. Walsh? No. Drew Peterson, maybe? Yikes. The Hornets are resting a lot of guys too because they have, the offseason to get ready for. So no Josh Green, no Miles Bridges, no Mark Williams. They just don't want these guys to get hurt. But low-key, all right, I don't mind these guys, just getting a shot. Seth Curry led their team in points the other night against the Celtics with 17. He'll be playing. Daquan Jeffries, Saloon, Nurkic is still playing. Josh Okogie. There's guys. I think Charlotte can keep this game close. I'm going to take them to cover the spread plus 12.5. Real briefly, what do I think the Hornets are going to do in the offseason? I don't know. I think it does start the LaMelo Ball trade. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Their window, they've never had a window. Honestly, guys, the Hornets might be the most cooked team in the entire league. They have a lottery pick. Are they going to get Cooper Flagg? Potentially that's a spot where I could see the NBA, rigging the draft lottery to get Melo and Cooper Flagg on the same team. But it's Charlotte. This is still the Bobcats at the end of the day. Michael Jordan is not in charge of anything anymore. So Charlotte basketball doesn't matter. They're always going to be stuck in the abyss. They're not going to do anything. So I think eventually the Melo Ball is going to be traded. Whether it be this offseason or not, I do feel like Melo's got to make his way out of Charlotte. He's too good for this team. That's never going to compete, even in a bad Eastern Conference. They had that 1 year where they made the play-in and lost to the Pacers, I believe. Or did they win that game? I know they didn't make the playoffs. They lost in the play-in at some point. They haven't been competitive in the LaMelo Ball era. They got to move on. Not because of Melo, it's just because this team's not going to compete. They should tear it all down, see what they can get for Bridges, see what they can get for Mark Williams. The thing about Charlotte is I don't know what's going to happen with them in the offseason because there is discussion about, okay, this team tried to get one over on the Lakers with the Mark Williams situation. They told the Lakers he wasn't hurt. And was that the Lakers having, buyer's regret and say, you know what, we still want Dalton Connect? I don't think so. I think it's going to make it tough for Charlotte to deal with some of these guys, especially Williams in the offseason. But the Hornets, I'd expect another really bad year next year, and for them to just restart again, because the core they have right now, they're not getting any younger, and it's not working. Obviously, the very young guys they can keep, but they've already paid Melo. You might as well try to get off that contract and just kind of restart. So, anyways, I'll take Charlotte on the points here, though, but yeah, it's one of these games. Next up, Brooklyn and the Knicks. I'm going to take Brooklyn at home. Again, they are at home plus 7.5. The Knicks are resting most of their guys, if I'm not mistaken. No Brunson, no Cat, no Adenubi, no Josh Hart. So the only starter playing today is going to be Mikal Bridges because, he's played in every single game of his NBA career. He's trying to go for 82 how many seasons has he been in the league now? Was this his 7th year? Yeah, Mikal Bridges plays every single game. So good on him, right? He's going to play all 82, but what Bridges has done in the past in this spot with the Nets, he played, he would play a minute and then just step off the court just so he can get his 82. Again, that's what Bridges does. He's an Iron Man out there. He's like the Joe Thomas of the NBA, if you want to say, I guess. So that basically means, though, the Knicks are starting Miles McBride, Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious Achiuwa. I think the Nets are going to actually be able to contend with this a little bit. Again, guys, previous games don't mean anything going into today. This is game 82, and none of these games really matter. I do think the Nets, who are playing most of their guys with the exception of D'Lo, Zaire Williams, and Cameron Johnson, should be able to stay within 7.5 points of this Knicks lineup, this Knicks bench unit, who usually doesn't see the court. So you're going to get some, Keon Johnson, Derek Whitehead, Maxwell Lewis, Trenton Watford, and Nick Claxton. All right, Claxton might be the best player on the court. Now, again, he's not some scoring threat or whatnot, but I do think the Nets are going to be okay here. Drew Timmy's going to play. He's shined in the spots that he's gotten so far this season. So I think the Nets are going to be competitive. They're at home. The Knicks, again, are just ready for the playoffs. They know they're getting the Pistons. I think Brooklyn covers the line here. In terms of Brooklyn's future, it probably starts again with them trading Cam Thomas. I feel like, again, he had a good season. Is he going to be good elsewhere? I don't know because the Nets are so dependent around him. But I feel like Cam Thomas will be traded. I think the Nets, again, they've made it very clear they want Giannis Antetokounmpo. So what next season should be for them is they should try to make that jump into potentially getting into the play-in. So I'd expect a couple free agency pickups for them. Maybe Cam Thomas sticks around and they just try to add another, not a max player, but add a player, again, who's going to be able to contribute, a starter on the squad. That's, I think, the Nets' goal in this offseason, to try to, make this team seem like a better destination for Antetokounmpo. Is Giannis coming here? Absolutely not. But I do think maybe they get a point guard in the offseason. I don't know who that could entirely be. Maybe they do put their name into the Josh Giddey hat. Again, he's going to go back to Chicago. But I do think they're going to try to make a play at trying to get a point guard, and we'll see what happens. But I'd expect Brooklyn, yes, they should make that jump next year to be a play-in team to at least look like a viable threat for Antetokounmpo. I think they cover, though, on this spot. Next up, Pacers, Cavs. Don't bet this. I don't know what we're going to get out of both teams today. Indiana's resting everybody for the most part. I think Miles Turner's playing, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, Indiana's only resting Halliburton, Shepherd, and Siakam. So for now, they're going to start TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Jarris Walker, and Miles Turner. So Obi's still coming off the bench. You still get Mathurin, Thomas Bryant. Oh, yeah, the Pacers should actually run right through the Cavs. Cleveland just doesn't care. They are not just resting their starters. They're resting the bench unit as well. So no Garland, no Mitchell, no Strus, no Mobley, no Ty Jerome, no Sam Merrill, no DeAndre Hunter, no Dean Wade, no Isaac Okoro. So again, it's going to be like Craig Porter, Javonte Green, Tristan Thompson, Amani Bates. Yeah, actually Pacers by 1 million because Indiana's still playing with their guys for some reason. I don't know how much these guys are going to play, but they're going to play enough. This should be one-way traffic. I think Indiana kind of wants their 50 wins, even though they are locked into the 4th seed and will get Milwaukee in the 4-5. But I do think they kind of care about that. So I think the Pacers easily win this game. Cleveland's resting everybody, and we'll likely see these two teams in the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. We'll get to that when we get there. Give me Indiana. Next up, we go to the Wizards and the Heat. Give me Miami at home. They are locked into the 10, but I think they will blow out the Washington Wizards here. This team has to try to pick up some momentum. Going into their play-in game, right? They dropped 153 points the other day in New Orleans against the Pelicans, but they will be resting a lot of guys against the Wizards tonight. No Tyler Hero, no Alec Burks, no Andrew Wiggins, no Bam Adebayo. They will play the rookie out of Indiana and Khalil Ware. He'll be alongside Davion Mitchell, Duncan Robinson, Hayward Highsmith tonight. Jaquez probably will get some run. Terry Rozier, Kyle Anderson. I still don't know what's up with Kevin Love, but it is what it is. The Wizards are pretty much playing everybody but Jordan Poole. As, you know, the guys who've actually been playing, we know Brogdon and Smart and Sadiq Bey have been sat down a long time ago, but in terms of the guys who've actually been playing the last couple of weeks for the Wizards, it will be everyone but Jordan Poole. I just don't think this team's very good, though, as it is. Miami's at home. They should be able to get away from the Wizards. I'm going to take Miami minus 9.5. They're not they're not a threat at all in the play-in. I think the Bulls are going to get them, and we'll get to that game on Wednesday. But their bench unit is actually, I think, better than what the Wizards are starting today. Again, Mitchell, Robinson, Highsmith, Kyle Anderson, and Khalil Ware. Yeah, that's better than what the Wizards have. I mean, I'll be kind of intrigued to see Khalil Ware and Alex Sarr. It's one of the few very good matchups we get today between two rookies and, up-and-coming players. But I think the Heat win. I mean, the Wizards are starting Bub Carrington, A.J. Johnson, Champagnie, Keyshawn George, and Alex Sarr. Yeah, I'm going to go Miami. Now, what do the Wizards do in the offseason? I don't know. I think they're going to keep Jordan Poole and just kind of keep building the young core. I'd expect no Marcus Smart return next year. Same with Chris Middleton, who's kind of already expressed that he doesn't really want to be here, and why would you? So for the Wizards, I think they're going to continue to look at building this young core. They're obviously in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Are they going to land him? Probably not. I don't think they're going to get rewarded with Cooper Flag. I'm going to be honest. There's very few destinations where I think he could actually go to. And yes, Brooklyn and Charlotte are two of those locations. Actually, the Nets don't have their pick. Anyways, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't think so. But regardless, the Wizards should probably look to continue to build that young core. Brooklyn's pick. Oh, Brooklyn does have their pick. So those would be two locations I think would actually get Cooper Flag. Not the Wizards, who are locked into having the worst record in the NBA alongside the Utah Jazz. They're going to continue to build a young core. I think they're going to get a guy like, let's say, Dylan Harper in the draft. And they're just going to continue on this rebuild. Nothing of note, though, for the Wizards. They're not going to be making too many improvements. I'm sure they're going to throw their name in the hat for Durant. They're going to pitch him on, hey, come play with this young core. You're from the D.C. area. Come on down. Obviously, Durant's not heading over to this team, so that was something that was thrown around in 2021, and even when he made that signing in 2017, 18 with the Warriors. No, 16, 17 with the Warriors. He'll come back to DC. That's not happening. He's a big Nats fan, but he's not playing for the Wizards. This game, though, Miami minus 9.5. Next up, Sixers Bulls. I'm taking the Bulls to blow out the Sixers tonight. Chicago's just that much better. I've been so impressed with the Bulls this season, and how can you not be? I mean, down the stretch of the season, going into the play-in, they have won 5 out of their last 6 games, with the only loss being the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they're going to give Cleveland a very tough fight, and we'll get to that. I do think they're going to get out the play-in. Today, they're without their best player in Josh Giddey. Lonzo Ball's still out. I'd expect Ball to be back for the play-in. Kobe White's playing, though. White, Buzelis, and Vucevic. I'm surprised Vucevic is playing being a veteran, but these guys are all going to play tonight. Kobe White's going to put up numbers against the 76ers tonight. Philadelphia has won one game out their last, I think, 15, give or take. That might be a stretch, but they literally just don't win games. Jared Butler's giving them some good run. I don't think Quentin Grimes is playing today, nor is Oubre, nor is Yabusele. So they're starting Jared Butler, Lonnie Walker, Ricky Council. They might have to start, Jeff Doughton and Adem Bona. Oh, yikes. I mean, Doughton and Butler have given them some run, but the Sixers are just, I mean, we know what happened in their season. They got decimated with injuries. There's nothing going on with Philadelphia, and you know there's not. The Bulls will win this game, and they're going to blow them out. Again, Chicago's playing their guys. They're playing White. They're playing Buzelis. They're playing Vucevic. We're probably going to see some Kevin Huerter. We'll see Patrick Williams and Zach Collins, Javon Carter as well. Maybe some THT, who doesn't really play much. He's just a reserve now for Chicago. Maybe we'll see him as well. The Bulls should run right through the Sixers. I know they're on the road, but Chicago looking for their 39-win season, and they will get a home game on Wednesday against the Miami Heat. A game right now, they are a minus 1.5 point favorite. I don't want to give away the pick, but if you can get minus 1.5 right now on the Bulls, take it. That's going to close at 3.5 if I had to guess. Give me Chicago in this game over Philadelphia and to cover as well. The Sixers offseason is fairly simple. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to be able to get off the Paul George contract. That's obvious. The question is, can they get, or will they trade Joel Embiid? My guess is no. I think they're going to run it back. And also I think the value for Joel Embiid is at an all-time low right now. So I don't think they're going to trade Embiid. I legitimately think what the Sixers are going to do, they're just going to try to run it back. And they're going to see what they can get in the draft lottery. If they have a top 6 pick, it remains to them. If they fall out of the top 6, that pick goes to OKC. So we'll see. Is there a chance Cooper Flagg ends up here? 100%. Definitely. They are going to have a 10% chance at Cooper Flagg landing the number 1 pick. We know the draft lottery is rigged. LeBron James said it himself. Ewing to the Knicks, LeBron to the Cavs, D-Rose to the Bulls. The lottery is rigged, and we know it. Regardless, is Philadelphia a spot they'll end up playing Cooper Flagg or putting Cooper Flagg at? Potentially. They have a young core, kind of. Not really. Quentin Grimes, I guess, is part of the young core. They got Jared McCain, who everyone thinks is going to be an absolute monster in this league, I believe. Yabusele won't start next season, but he'll be back on the squad as well. And if you add Cooper Flagg, yes, Philadelphia is a contender next season. That's the only way I think they'd keep this core right now, is if they can get a guy like Flagg. I legitimately think the offseason is based around the rookie out of Duke, and we'll see what happens with Joel Embiid. My guess and my final prediction with Philadelphia is they will try to run it back next season. They're already tied up on Paul George. You might as well give it one more year with Embiid and just pray he stays healthy, which he hasn't in the last couple of years. But that's what I think Philadelphia is going to do. We'll see. In this spot, I think the Bulls blow them out. Next up, we go to, the Pistons and Bucks. So, I mean, these two teams have played. They've been playing. The Bucks won the first matchup by 6. The Bucks are going into the playoffs on a heater. They have now won 7 straight games. The question for them going into the playoffs is will Damian Lillard play? My guess is no right away. My guess is he returns for Game 3 in Milwaukee. I don't think he's going to play the first 2 games of this series against Indiana. The Bucks tonight they're waving the white flag tonight. They don't care. Right now, I'm looking at it. No Giannis, no Taurean Prince, no Kuzma, no Lopez, no Ryan Rollins, no KPJ, no AJ Green, no Gary Trent, no Bobby Portis. I couldn't even tell you who's going to start tonight. Boye, Andre Jackson, Pat Connaughton, Pete Nance, and Chris Livington, guys, is probably going to be your starting 5 tonight. Yeah, I'm going to take the Pistons. The Bucks got what they wanted at the end of the regular season. They got their 5 seed. They're looking for revenge after being eliminated last year by the Indiana Pacers in 6 games. They're looking for revenge this year. They got the series they wanted. Cade Cunningham's going to play tonight, which is kind of confusing for me. I don't know why. Now the Pistons want to win games after they were dodging the smoke with Indiana. All right. I think they can get the Knicks. If I had to guess, I think the Knicks win that series. I think Detroit's going to give them a fight. I think it's a much more favorable series for the Pistons than the Pacers were. But I am surprised Cade Cunningham is playing. And the only guy not playing is Asar Thompson. And Isaiah Stewart I don't think is playing either, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But Cade's playing. We'll see if they get Jaden Ivey back for the playoffs. I don't know what capacity he'll be back in. But yeah, they're going to start most of their guys. I mean, they're going to go, Cade, Hardaway, probably Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren tonight. In Milwaukee, this has all the signs of a blowout. I butchered the graphic. That should say minus 7.5. The Pistons are going to blow out the Bucks tonight. I don't think it's all that close. So give me Detroit in a blowout. We'll see these two teams in the playoffs. Next up, we go to the Western Conference. So that's it with the East. We have the Raptors, but they play the Spurs, so we'll get to that later. They play in San Antonio. Nuggets, Rockets. I'm taking the Nuggets to win. I think the Rockets keep it close. Surprisingly, the Rockets are playing most of their guys. As of now, there's nobody on the injury report other than Jayshawn Tate. So that means, yes, Van Vliet, Josh Green, Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Dylan Brooks, and Alfred Şengün are all projected to play right now. I guess they haven't played their last 2 games against the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles Clippers. We saw Cam Whitmore have a night. He had 34, 8, and 5 against Los Angeles, the Lakers, but as of now, the Rockets are going to play their guys. Okay. I don't know why, but sure. Fan appreciation night at home. Okay. Jamal Murray's playing for the Nuggets. This game matters to them. They don't want to lose. If they win this game, they will get the 4 seed. So they control their own destiny to home court advantage in the first round. If they lose tonight and the Clippers win, then the Clippers get home court advantage. That's why Los Angeles will be playing their guys in San Francisco against the Warriors today. We'll get to that later. That's the game of the day. I think Houston keeps this game close. If they're playing if their guys are playing like they say they are at home, this game will be competitive. I do feel like as we get into the fourth quarter, though, the Rockets won't really care about the end result. They're here to get their guys some run in. Maybe they'll just play the first half, but I think that first half will be able to keep this game close for Houston. I'm still not impressed with the Nuggets. This team's not good. Guys, the Clippers will beat the Nuggets in the first round. I actually firmly believe that at this point. The Nuggets aren't good. The Clippers are a better basketball team than them. I think Clippers in 6, probably 7. Getting their get back for 2020, we'll see. But yeah, I really think that the Clippers are an all-around better team than Denver. And I don't see the Nuggets. I mean, I've said this before. I don't see the Nuggets going anywhere in the playoffs. And I think this is why Houston can keep this game close tonight. So yeah, we think Denver wins, but plus 9.5, honestly, not the worst bet. Give me Houston on the spread here at home against the Nuggets. Next up, we move to Memphis, Tennessee, a game that does matter as the Memphis Grizzlies are at home against the Dallas Mavericks. I'm taking the Mavericks. I am. I, oddly enough, feel kind of confident the Mavericks can get out the plan at this point. I know they've been injured all year long. I feel like Anthony Davis is going to kind of make it his mission to get this team to the playoffs. And also, by the way, the Grizzlies aren't playing a single soul tonight. I think Memphis can get a home play-in game, if I'm not mistaken, if they win and the Timberwolves lose. However, the Timberwolves are playing the Jazz and they're 22.5-point favorites. So Memphis knows this. They don't care. The Mavericks don't really care either, so I think we get a chaos game, and I think the Mavericks can win. I actually like the guys who are playing tonight for the Mavericks more than I do the Grizzlies. Guys, the Grizzlies are resting basically their entire rotation. No Ja, no Desmond Bane, no JJJ, no Edey, no Scottie Pippen, no Kennard, no Santi Aldama. None of these guys are playing. So we're going to see, just the randos. You're going to see Vince Williams, Conchar starting. Jay Huff will be getting some minutes. And yes, Dallas isn't playing many guys either, but Dinwiddie's still playing, who all-time seller, but it's okay. Max Christie and Najee Marshall are playing, and Daniel Gadford, and Exum. Those are guys who can actually win you a game. So the Grizz obviously don't care. And for the Mavericks, again, they likely know they're going on the road to Sacramento just because, yes, the Kings are playing the Suns today and they're 15.5-point favorites. So that's, again, both these teams know, all right, the teams that we need to jump potentially aren't, probably not going to lose. But anyways, I think the Mavs actually win this. The guys who are playing for the Mavericks today I have a lot more confidence in than the Grizzlies guys. I don't mind Dinwiddie's not, whatever. But Christie, Najee Marshall, Gadford, Jaden Hardy, Exum, Kai Jones, Dwight Powell. Honestly, sign me up for that. I think the Mavericks win this game outright. So that's why we're going Dallas to win this game in Memphis against the Grizzlies. Next up, we move to this game in Minnesota, the Timberwolves versus the Jazz. Now, the Timberwolves will win, and I do think they cover the 22.5 points as well. Minnesota's playing their guys because this game matters a lot to them, right? A loss, which that would be catastrophic. A loss and a Grizzlies win would send them to the 8th seed. They have to go on the road to Memphis for the play-in. But a win and a loss for the Golden State Warriors puts them at 6, and you get your first-round matchup against the Lakers. I'll be honest, personally, I'd rather have the Timberwolves. I think the Lakers beat both those teams, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, I'd rather have the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are obviously going to beat the Jazz. Now, Anthony Edwards did receive, is it 18 technicals, if I'm not mistaken? However many technicals it is for a one-game suspension. I think it's 18. I could be mistaken. Yes, it is 18. So Edwards was originally suspended for this game against the Utah Jazz. That technical foul has been rescinded, so Ant is going to play tonight. Hear me out. I think it's better for the Timberwolves if that technical foul actually stayed. They were going to beat the Jazz regardless, And now Ant's next technical is going to get him a 1-game suspension in the playoffs. You could have got that out the way, but instead, now it's just moving on to the postseason. And Ant, who leads the NBA in technical fouls right now, odds on he's probably going to pick one up in the playoffs. It's just how Ant is. So there's a chance he will miss a playoff game, which is catastrophic for the Timberwolves because they're not going to be able to win without Ant in the playoffs, obviously. We'll see, though. They're going to beat Utah tonight. I have no doubt in my mind. Everyone's playing for Minnesota tonight. And for the Jazz, they're not playing anybody. Nope. Utah tonight is... I think actually is Sexton playing? I think Sexton's playing, but no Collier, no Markkanen, no Kessler. Yeah, this is a blowout. Okay, Utah is as bad as it is. They did beat the Trailblazers the other night in overtime, but then they let, Arkansas, Jalen Williams, and Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe put 145 points on them on Friday in Salt Lake City. Svi Mikhailuk led them in scoring with 27 points. Yeah, they're going to Minnesota and getting blown out. What are the Jazz going to do in the offseason? Lord knows. They're not getting Cooper Flagg. I think, again, I've said it as a joke all season long. I'm serious. They're getting the 4th pick, and they're ending up with VJ Edgecombe. I don't know who's getting 1 through 3, but they're going to end up with the Baylor Bears' own at VJ Edgecombe with the number 4 overall pick. They're going to miss out on not just Cooper Flagg, they're going to miss out on the 2 Rutgers players as well, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. So Edgecombe, I think, is going to be a Utah Jazz. I don't know. Yeah, he's going to be a member of the Utah Jazz. The Jazz aren't going to spend money. That's not what they do. They have a very good center in Walker Kessler who they refuse to trade. Filipowski, I'll give it to you, is not horrible. Lauri Markkanen, I guess, is their guy, but if they can get value, they're going to move on from him. Same with Colin Sexton. I thought they were going to move Sexton earlier, I'll be honest. We'll see. The Jazz are not in a position to win. They're banking that they can somehow pull in Cooper Flagg, but they won't because the NBA is not going to reward this behavior with this Walker Kessler shooting 12 threes a game type stuff. They're not going to put up with, the resting guys, basically starting in February. No, the NBA is not going to reward this team. They're always going to be stuck in hell just because they're the Utah Jazz, and they don't win basketball games. They moved on from Gobert, and Mitchell obviously tore down that core, and they haven't been competitive since, and they still have not found their guy. They're hoping they get Flagg. They're not gonna land him. So anyways, I'm taking the Timberwolves to blow out the Jazz tonight. Next up, we move to a matchup. How do I keep messing up this graphic? Thunder Pelicans. Thunder blowout New Orleans. It just goes to show how good the Thunder's bench unit is. I mean, they beat the Jazz, and against the Jazz, they beat them 145 to 111. OKC is without 7 of their main rotation guys. No Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, aka the MVP. No Lou Dort. No J-Dub. No Chet Holmgren. No Isaiah Hartenstein. No Alex Caruso. And no Cason Wallace. I'm okay with that. We know Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, J-Dub, and AJ Mitchell and company. They'll destroy teams. Jalen Williams, guys, is the 3rd most triple-doubles this season of a big in the NBA. And he's a bench player for the Thunder. And he has started, 4 games all year long? And in 3 of those starts, he's gotten a triple-double? Yeah. The amount of talent this team has is crazy. And they could end up with a top 10 pick if the 76ers pick falls out the top 6. And if not, that pick's just unprotected next season. So, yeah. I'll just say they're in a really good spot. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. The Pelicans are just abysmal. We know that, and they're not even playing anybody. Like, even the vets that have been playing, Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, they're not playing tonight. It looks like Alvarado's playing, but, yeah, the Pelicans aren't good. What does their offseason look like? Trading Zion Williamson. The timeline's over. It just is. The window's closed. So, Zion's going to be gone. They'll look to, the Trey Murphy injury really sets them back because I think he was going to be a prominent player for them next season. We can't really expect him back till halfway through the year next year, at least maybe December. Yeah, they're set back. They're really set back here. I don't know what they're going to do. I think, honestly, for New Orleans, it's just going to be a full-on tank next season again. The injuries just didn't work out. We'll see. I assume that it's maybe DeJounte Murray. They move on from him. I know it's only been 1 season. The Pelicans are number 4 in the lottery. Odds right now are, they're in the top 6-ish, though, the lottery currently. They're just going to have to get lucky. This is a potential Cooper Flagg spot. Zion's already here, and that's what would keep Zion here. Like what I was mentioning with LaMelo, again, if the Hornets get Cooper Flagg, if the Pelicans get Cooper Flagg, then that incentivizes the star on either of these teams to stay with the squad and the team to keep them as well and to try to make a push to win. So I think the NBA might try that with one of these teams, like the Hornets or the Pelicans, just, all right, reward you with Cooper Flagg and try to go win. I feel like Cooper Flagg's going east, though. I think we all know that, right? The competitive balance, Cooper Flagg is likely on the East Coast. That's why I'm a little bit concerned he's going to go to the 76ers. Him and Jared McCain in the future. I don't know. The Duke combo didn't play, on the same team as each other. Honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards that right now. That Philly's going to win the lottery. Thunder minus 12.5 here. Yeah, this meaningless game. Raptors versus Spurs. Spurs minus 5.5. Here, I'll give you something about the Spurs, guys. This young unit, they want to hoop. I know they lost the Suns, but I mean that Warriors game, and hell, even the Nuggets game on the road, it's impressive. It is. Chris Paul's still playing. Again, you cannot knock the guy for this. He's trying with a young core. He's playing with this young core. Averaged 9 and 8 this season. But Chris Paul, again, he's going to give it his all. He's going to. He's playing with the young unit. Stephon Castle's playing. No Vassell, but, your CP3, Stephon Castle, probably a Julian Champagny in the starting lineup. Harrison Barnes with the game winner, obviously, over the Golden State Warriors. And then Bismack Biyombo. That's not a bad squad tonight. The Raptors, this team has given up a long time ago. They're playing nobody today. They're playing, I think Scotty Barnes is still playing. Going to see some big Jamal Shed minutes, which we're absolutely, we love that. Shed averaged 7 points a game this season. He is a very solid one who's going to be in this league for a very long time. I'm very excited for Jamal Shed. Abaji, I believe, is going to play. Mobo, Battle, Jameson Battle. Spurs are better. CP's playing. Stephon Castle's playing. And they're at home. So I'm going to take the Spurs. Now, in terms of both these teams' futures, right? I mean, the Raptors, I don't know. This is not a bad young core. They're in the right direction. Scotty Barnes is good. Again, he's already all-star, as Darko would say. The Raptors are just a move away. I wouldn't mind a Joel Embiid here if they try. I think that this team should try to make a splash. I believe they have the money for it. Bring in Brandon Ingram. That means, okay, yes, this team is trying to win. You've got the young core that we always talk about, right? IQ, Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick. They've got a very good young team here. You add Brandon Ingram. Jakob Poeltl hasn't been bad this season. And if you can, I don't know, again, I'm just throwing this out there, but if you add Joel Embiid to this team, yeah, my goodness, yes, they are a threat in the Eastern Conference. So the Raptors, this rebuild is almost over. They're right there. I think Toronto's in a very good spot. Same with the Spurs, honestly. I mean, these are probably out the 10 teams that are missing the play-in this year / playoffs. These two teams are in the best spot. By far the best spot. And I'll tell you, and we will go over today actually, Portland's in a really good spot too. We'll get to them in a second. We'll get to a team at the very end of the video, by the way, who's in the absolute worst spot. But both these teams are in really good spots. I mean, we know what San Antonio is going to have. De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama. There's a chance Cooper Flag ends up here too. I wouldn't be surprised that's the big three alongside Stephon Castle. Yeah, that's a winning team for a very long time. Obviously, the priority of Wembanyama is just to get healthy, and I hope he's going to be fine. I think he's going to. But yeah, San Antonio is going to be good for they're going to be good for a very long time. Okay, there's no question about that. I saw something saying potentially Mike Malone could come coach here, which I wouldn't be surprised about, honestly. Yeah, San Antonio is going to be perfectly fine. We know what they have for the future. They're going to be good. So anyways, in this game, San Antonio to win and cover the 5.5 points. Next up, we go to Golden State. So this is the game of the day. I've been waiting on this one all day long. I'm taking the Clippers to beat the Warriors. I know. I'm taking the Clippers to beat the Warriors. I kind of think the Clippers are better right now. I don't know. Guys, Los Angeles is on an absolute heater right now. The Clippers have not lost a game since March 30th. They have not lost a game in the month of April so far. They have won 7 straight games. There is discussion now and discourse online about how there are really, out the contenders tier right now. I've been seeing that people think there are 4 contenders in the NBA. Sorry, 5 contenders in the NBA. No, actually, I'm seeing 4. I'm sorry, the Cavaliers. On a lot of these lists, I'm seeing Boston, Lakers, Thunder, Clippers are the 4 contenders in the league. I think that's a tough slight. I think that's a tough hit on both the Cavs and the Indiana Pacers. But yeah, I think those are the real contenders. And sure, I'd put the Warriors in there too, don't get me wrong. I actually feel better about the Clippers right now than I do Golden State. Guys, Kawhi's going to get in the playoffs now. Here we go. It's for the first time in a while. We've always talked about it with the Clippers. They're not healthy in the playoffs. They're healthy now. Here we go. The Clippers are healthy in the playoffs. This is a team you don't want to see. And honestly, originally I kind of wanted the Lakers to get the squad. I'm all right. If they can get by OKC, they get by OKC. We know we're going to get a good team in the Western Conference Finals. It is what it is. But honestly, have fun on the other side of the bracket. I don't really care. You don't want to see this team right now. They're better than the Nuggets. We know they are. And the Clippers are going to try to win today. They have not rested anybody. Batum and Patty Mills aren't playing. Oh no. Guys, this lineup with James Harden, Chris Dunn, defensive menace, Norman Powell, Kawhi, Zubac. Bogdanovich gives them shots off the bench. We know what DJJ can do. Amir Coffey, Ben Simmons. Yeah, they're not that bad this year, man. They're finally healthy in the postseason. Again, their road will go through Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I don't think they're going to go to OKC and get past that squad. But if they do, yeah, we're probably looking at the LA series, 5 years later in the Western Conference Finals? Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but this is the best chance we're probably ever going to get at it. I'm serious, ever. Until, again, maybe like 20 years down the line when these are completely different teams. But in this era of the Kawhi Braun era, this is the last chance and the best chance we're ever going to get at the Battle of LA Western Conference Finals. Again, I think the Thunder are the biggest threat to that. The Clippers are that good this year, man. The work that Harden's doing with Zubac, Kawhi, Norman Powell's had a career year with Los Angeles this season, and the bench isn't that bad either. And also, there's question marks around if Steph Curry even plays today, right? Curry had the thumb injury in that game against Portland. He's questionable today. I'd assume he's going to play with the seeding on the line, but what Steph are we going to get? It is his shooting hand. I mean, Jimmy Butler has, he's found his way to the line a lot in the last couple of games. We'll see again Jimmy take on a big scoring role, but can Butler and the Warriors beat the Clippers today? I get they're at home, but I'm leaning towards Los Angeles here, guys. The Clippers are a better team right now. They just are. The Warriors are playing good basketball too, but I honestly think the Clippers beat them. And guys, the Clippers have beat the Warriors every single time this year. They're 3-0 against them. They have not lost to the Warriors yet. And sure, they have not played the Warriors with Jimmy yet. All three of those matchups were in 2024, the last of which being on December 27th. But it is a thing. Again, the Clippers have not lost to Golden State this season. I believe Kawhi's only played in one of those matchups. The Clippers are good. Don't underestimate them. Again, I think it's a tough outlook for them in the playoffs just because of their matchups. But yes, I'm very confident in the fact that I believe the Clippers are going to beat the Nuggets in the first round. They are a better team than Denver. So we're taking the Clippers in this spot. They are going to beat the Golden State Warriors outright plus 115. Say hello to the play in Golden State. Have fun with the Grizzlies. They'll beat the Grizzlies. And Warriors-Rockets series. We'll see. That is a 7-game series, man. That one will go to 7. But anyways, have fun with the Warriors. They'll probably get through the Grizzlies very easily in the play-in. But anyways, we'll see. The Warriors have had their troubles in the play-in in the past, though. They have. Next up, we go to Portland, Oregon. Lakers, Blazers. Now, don't bet on this. This is kind of a hope pick. But at the same time, I think the Lakers actually beat the Blazers. Okay, guys, don't underestimate Bronny James. I'm serious. Guys, Bronny's going to play 30-plus minutes tonight. And I actually believe Bronny James is probably going to score 20-plus. I'm serious. I think we see a career high for Bronny James tonight. I actually think so. The Lakers are playing nobody in the normal rotation other than Jordan Goodwin. If you want to count Dalton Connect as part of the rotation, you can, but he is playing tonight as well. So Goodwin and Connect are starting, obviously. I'd expect Shake Milton to start. I guess Markieff Morris, champ, they're calling him now, is going to start at the 4. I would have liked to seen Maxi Kleber back for this game just to get him a game in with the Lakers before the playoffs, but I guess his Lakers debut will come in the postseason. And then expect Alex Len to start at the 5, maybe Trey Jemison, but in spots where they've been without Jax and, all the other bigs, DFS, Vando, they have gone to Alex Len starting, so expect Len to play and then Trey Jemison to come off the bench. And then, again, off the bench, will probably be, the aforementioned Jemison, Koloko, and Bronny James. All right, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I think the Lakers actually beat Portland. Guys, Portland is without a lot of their guys as well. No Anthony Simons, no Shaden Sharp, no Scoot Henderson, no Denny Adjiva. We know, again, Adjiva has been great, but no Jeremy Grant, no DeAndre Ayton. They've been shut down for the season. So the Blazers are starting, Delano Banton, Tamani Kamara, who's good, and Matisse Thybulle, Chris Murray, and Donovan Clingan. I mean, that's nothing special. I think the Lakers win. I wouldn't bet it, but I do think Los Angeles can go on the road and beat Portland outright. Now, in terms of Portland's outlook, they're in a great spot. Don't get me wrong. They are I don't want to say this, but I will. And my thing with Kevin Durant is, and I'll talk about Phoenix right there the last game, I really want KD to go to a young core. I don't think he's going to, because that's not what KD does. But I personally think it would really add to Kevin Durant's legacy if he did what Chris Paul did for OKC. And I think, obviously, again, OKC was great. They had Shea, but I think KD can obviously elevate a team like that even more than what Chris Paul did. Now, the easy answer for Kevin Durant's future is, okay, yes, he goes back to Oklahoma City. He tries to rewrite the wrongs, brings them a championship, tries to, at least with the young core, with Shea, with J-Dub, with Chet Holmgren, and he gets his number retired in OKC alongside Golden State, obviously. But that seems like the easiest fit for KD. And honestly, if I had to bet money on it, That's probably where he will end up. They have the picks to do it. It just would make sense that Durant ends up being a member of the Thunder. I could see Memphis as well. Memphis has tried to get him multiple seasons in a row, and I could even see Houston as well. But personally, I do think OKC's the spot. What I'd like to see is KD go to a team like Portland or Chicago, though, personally. I think it'd be more fun. I think if KD goes to Chicago, I've said this before, I think if Durant goes to Chicago with Giddey, with White, with Buzelis, with Vucevic, that's a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference. And I think they can make some noise. Again, he's likely going to go to OKC, and that's fine. I think it'd be great for his career and at least character arc. I know this is basketball, but still, I think it'd be kind of funny, and it'd be good for Durant, I think, right? I mean, I think it'd be accepted by the OKC fans. It'd be great to look back at, obviously, and I think we're expecting the Thunder are going to win a championship within the next 5 seasons. I don't know if it's going to be this season. I think it's a very good chance it is. They're the heavy favorites to win the entire thing right now. But if you add Kevin Durant, and Durant's your second, third option, yeah, they're probably going to win a championship. So that's likely what happens. I wouldn't mind to see Durant on a team like this. But if not, I mean, Portland's very set, man. They are. They've got a very good young core. Simons, Sharp, Scoot. Ajiva's been great. Kamara, I hope those guys continue to play the way that they're doing. Klingon. What Portland will do this season, they're going to move away and they're going to either buy out or just let go of guys like Jeremy Grant and DeAndre Ayton. Yes, you need a veteran presence. I don't think those guys are it. Chauncey's never seen eye to eye, apparently, with DeAndre Ayton, so I don't think that's going to continue. Maybe Jeremy Grant remains, but he's always hurt. At his best, Grant can give you some good nights, but the production isn't always the best. So I don't know. We'll see. They do need some veteran here, and that's why I'd like to see a guy like Kevin Durant here. But expect Portland to make some move to get a starter. I don't know. Expect some veteran to come here and play and just take on that leadership role. Hopefully not a guy like Russell Westbrook. But yeah, I think Portland's going to be good in the future. In this game, I'm going to take the Lakers, though, to win. I wouldn't bet it, though. Final game of the night. Let's just laugh at the Phoenix Suns, everybody. Let's just laugh. The Kings will blow them out. I'm not concerned about this. Sacramento needs to win to get the play-in game at home. I think it's a tough spot for them against Dallas. I'll just be honest with you. We can get to that, though, when we get there on Wednesday. The Kings are playing everybody. They are. I think Malik Monk going to be back for the play-in? Probably not. So they're playing their guys, right? They're starting lineup: Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis. They're playing their guys. They're going to try to win this game. So Phoenix is screwed. The Suns are playing pretty much everybody but their 2 main guys, obviously D-Book and Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a report that came out. I don't think this was Centil, that he loves Phoenix, Arizona. He wants to stay in Phoenix, Arizona. He wants to remain here with this team for the long term. I don't think the fans or the ownership wants that, but it's the ownership's fault for trading for a guy like Bradley Beal and giving him that contract. It is what it is. You got what you signed up for. The thing is, and the sad part about all this, guys, is the Suns lineup that they're going to be starting tonight, or hell, the lineup they started the other day without Kevin Durant is going to be their lineup next season. It's going to be Booker, it's going to be Beal, it's going to be Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn, Nick Richards. I'm serious. They have those guys on contract. Maybe not Grayson Allen comes back, but they're going to start Booker, Beal, Dunn, and Richards next year. They'll maybe add another vet to this lineup, and that's what they're going to run next season. They're not going to get rid of Devin Booker. Devin Booker is it's crazy. Devin Booker's the greatest Phoenix Sun of all time, and I think it's kind of I think he has to be. They went to the finals with him. He's the all-time leading scorer. D-Book's the Suns' GOAT, so he's going to be a Suns lifer. I firmly believe that. This is going to sound very funny, guys. Obviously, I don't think Book's going to have the all-time greatness this guy has, but I'm serious. Devin Booker's going to be like Dirk Nowitzki in Phoenix. He's going to get the statue. He's going to have the number retired. They're going to put his silhouette in the court. That's what Devin Booker is to the Phoenix Suns. And well-deserved, don't get me wrong. He's been the guy here. I remember I owned Devin Booker's first ever basketball shoe, by the way. I did. And it's not his own line when they just made, oh God, it was like a generic Nike. I don't remember, honestly. I was pretty young when I got it. It was D-Book's second year. It was a generic ass Nike shoe with just the D-Book logo on it. It was a basketball shoe, and I hooped in those when I was younger. I've always liked Devin Booker. I always have. It just, he's on the Suns, so I can't like him that much. Beal's going to stay unless they buy him out, which I don't think they're going to, because I think Phoenix is going to realize, okay, we're not in a spot where we can win, so we might as well just keep the guy and just see what happens. Because we're already paying that money. Yeah, you could buy him out and then you go somewhere else, but he said he wants to stay here. You can't trade him. He's made it very clear, he's not going to waive that no trade clause. So I think he just stays. So the unfortunate part in all of this for Phoenix is their offseason looks like trying to get as many picks as possible for Kevin Durant and as much young talent as you can for Kevin Durant, and then just running this team back next season with some adjustments. It's not a winning formula. They're not going to be in the playoffs next season, but that's what the Suns are going to be doing right now. You know, this is D Book's like 2006 Kobe Bryant time. I'm serious. That's kind of what it is. Now, the Lakers, got back to the postseason very quickly and to prominence very quickly. I don't think the Suns are going to do that like the mid-2000s Lakers, but that's kind of where the Suns are at. It's going to be D Booker putting up a bunch of points, all-star numbers every single season, and just what the hell's going on around him. That's what I see. In this spot, though, the Kings will win and cover the 15.5 points. No D-Book, no Bradley Beal, no Nick Richards. Game is not close. So, folks, thank you all for watching our NBA predictions here for April 13th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back not tomorrow, but on Tuesday for our first round of the NBA Play-In Tournament. 2 games. We don't know who's playing in the Western Conference. It's the Memphis Grizzlies versus either the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Golden State Warriors. In the East, we know the matchup in Orlando, Florida. The Atlanta Hawks going on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. So make sure to join us for that tomorrow, folks. Make sure to join us for our MLB US bets that are continuing every single day on the channel. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. And Mamba forever.